At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Good morning, everyone. Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger here. It is, Wednesday. Boy, I tell you what, the storm has finally made its way here, and we are going to be looking at a bit of rain, and it's just started. We're also seeing snow in the higher elevations. It's creating problems in I-5 as expected. Even Highway 299, Buckhorn Summit, Oregon Mountain, 36 east of I-5. We're looking at plenty of chain requirements. We haven't seen a ton of snow just yet for parts of the eastern mountains. We're talking Lassen County and looks like even places like Modoc County. Really not seeing a lot of rainfall out of this either. But we are going to be looking at that eventually shifting eastward and getting in on that. Good morning, everyone. Checking in with Lois. We've got Lynn, Chappie, and Catherine, some of our regulars here. Rain all night. We've got waking up to the sound of rain. That's always a good thing, right? Good morning from Lynn, and good morning. Still have my power. Thankful. As do I. I'm thankful for that, because if I didn't have power, I wouldn't be able to come on and broadcast you out here live like this. We'll tell you what, let's get you right to Krueger's Quickcast here. Ooh, I might have a problem with that. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Oh, shoot. Give me a second, folks. I'm going to have to play around with something here. Oh, no, I guess I have to just kind of do it the old-fashioned way. All right, there's a look at Krueger's Quickcast now. All right, something funky happened with this little button thing that I push here, and I have to play around with the settings on that, but I don't have time to do that because I got to give you the forecast here. Let's get right into it, shall we? Now, here's what I'm tracking here. Flooding potential along with mudslides and debris flows. Now, we're looking at low snow levels. We're seeing that this morning. We saw it last night. And that's going to lead to chain requirements. We're already seeing that as well on the mountain highways. Now, also, many of you may have noticed the winds are really strong out there. We've got some very gusty winds out there, and they're going to continue here throughout the day today, out the day today, that is. Now what we can see here is that rain is slowly pushing eastward, and that's snow in the mountains. But you see how we're just not seeing a lot of activity right now out towards Modoc County, Lassen County, eastern parts of Plumas County as well. It's eventually going to kind of spread eastward into that region, but it's going to take a few more hours before it actually gets there. And now we're just starting to see that rain in the last few hours making its way into the southern end of the valley. It looks like a pocket of heavier rainfall has made its way into the Red Bluff area and to the west of that as well. I'd love to hear from Curtis Brown, see how it's going over there, because I'd be willing to guess you're getting some pretty heavy rainfall up there. That's to the south of Redding. The coast is on the very back edge of this atmospheric river, and you can see actually we're seeing some breaks in that rain as well. And of course, we're seeing that snow in the higher elevations. Now, right now, it's pretty mild, not too terribly cold, mid to upper 40s in the valley. I mean, even the mountains, look at Alturas at 37, but I mean, you're right at that freezing point. So this is where we're kind of in that snow level point, right? You get to 32, 33, even 34, Weaverville, Hayfork. If you live in those areas, let me know if you're getting snow up there. I'd be curious, because with temperatures like that, most likely you are seeing snow. It might be having a hard time accumulating, especially on the roadways there, but grassy areas probably seeing some snow accumulation in Weaverville and Hayfork. Again, if those temperatures verify. 46 out at Hoopa, 41 in Willow Creek, and we got those low 50s right now along the coast. There's your visibility. Now, with some of the snow, it is lowering that visibility out there in some areas here. But overall, what we're seeing here is about 3-mile visibility out in Crescent City. Some of those low clouds are creating, looks like a little bit in the way. Oh, looks like I was going to check out some of the cameras out in Elk Country, and it's disconnected. I'd be willing to guess that maybe they don't have power over there. We'll have to kind of see. But we can't take a look at Elk Country, but what we can do is take a look at, we'll do this. I'm just going to take you to, no, not that one. Not that one. Yeah, that one. Oh, camera not available there either. I'm curious if there's a power outage in that area here, folks. Interesting. Interesting. Let me see here. I'm going to go to Let's see here. Current power outages percentage. Let's see if that kind of pops up here. And there you have it. We are seeing some power outages out there, folks. The yellow indicating higher percentage, but 10% in Trinity County. That's interesting. Why it's yellow, but we are seeing some power outages out there. And that would explain why the cameras are out in places like in Delnor County and even up towards Humboldt County as well. So kind of interesting. For those of you out of power, hopefully you're at least on your phone and you have power on your phone and battery. But outside of that, total bummer. All right, so yes, we're starting to see those power outages I've been talking about here for the last few days. Let's go and take a look at that winter storm warning, in effect till 10 o'clock tonight for most of the areas in pink there. We also have a winter weather advisory, and that's from 4 p.m. until 4 p.m. Snow levels between 3,000 and 4,000 feet. Now take a look at the chain requirements we're seeing out there. We've got a closure on Scott Mountain, and boy, if I'm not mistaken, is that a closure that I'm seeing over there on I-5 as well? Yay. Let me pull up quick map here, .gov, and see what's going on. It looks like there is a closure, folks. Traffic closed to all traffic southbound due to winter weather conditions. This is on I-5. Oh, closed to traffic north of Weed. Road closed, southbound. It looks like it's southbound because I'm clicking on it. It says traffic closed to all traffic southbound due to winter weather conditions. And then we've got another one that says closed to traffic 3 miles north of Weed. Southbound Interstate 5 road closed. I think it's mainly southbound. So my guess is maybe there's a big rig that may have jackknifed. There maybe have something off the side of the road. And yeah, you should expect delays. So if you're heading northbound, I don't think it's closed. Let's see if we can see anything else here. Typically, we can take a look at due to winter closure. Wow. Okay. They have closed. Full closure of I-5, and they're holding traffic at the Fondale exit, 10 miles north of Reading. Well, I'll be darned, folks. We've got a closure on I-5 already. This is something I prepared you for, folks, telling you about the snow and most likely seeing that snow in Mount Shasta area. Now, also, you'll notice west of I-5, east of I-5, plenty of chain requirements. As my buddy out at Caltrans, I did an interview with him yesterday, said if you don't need to be on the road today, don't. If you don't. There it is. There's Fondale exit. Backed up traffic, folks. They've closed it down. Don't see any cars there at Pitt River Bridge because, yeah, the interstate is closed. Oh, my goodness. Snowman Summit, 4,500 feet. You can see I-5, State Route 89. You can see the, look at that. It is piling up on I-5 there. Look at Dunsmuir. This is 2,400 feet. So these are those lower snow levels. And, oh, look at those power lines getting covered in that snow. And that's wet snow. So we could be looking at power outages in that area due to the snow on those power lines. And of course, the snow may be breaking some tree branches. This is going to be interesting because this is just the beginning. A lot more snow is in the forecast. So Mount Shasta City, you bet, is seeing that snow. Let's take a look at some other areas out there this morning. And you can see that we are seeing, looks like Grass Lake on Highway 97. I got some reports that they weren't seeing very good conditions on Highway 97. Unfortunately, we're not really getting any good images coming in from the Caltrans cameras. This is Highway 299 West, Buckhorn. And by the way, the image you see there in Buckhorn is not Buckhorn Summit itself. This is actually below the summit of Buckhorn. So when you see snow there, you know it's bed up at the summit. Oregon Mountain, look at that, plenty of snow, but it looks like Berry Summit looks to be okay and just looks wet at this point. Take a look at Hatchet Mountain. Earlier this morning, I was looking at that image. You could see snowflakes, but they were horizontal. They were going sideways. It was windy up there. Doesn't look like it's snowing as heavy up there now, but there you can see what's known as the Four Corners, 299-89 intersection. Chain requirements, snow, Cedar Pass, looking pretty icy up there this morning. Let me see here. Let me know if there's some kind of weird audio coming in through. I've been having some weird issues this morning. Shingletown, snow up there. You're getting some snow. Looks like the road is fairly clear, though, so that looks pretty good. Lassen Park, of course, no big surprises there. We are seeing snow up there, and, of course, those chain requirements. Highway 36 at 89. This is near Chester. Oh, man, look at that. It looks like a big rig there on the side of the highway there. There's Fredonia Summit at 5,600 feet there. Take you a few other places. This is looking on Highway 70. Now, again, keep in mind we haven't seen much in the way of snow or rain this far east this morning, and that's why things are looking pretty good there. Here's Highway 199. This is north of Collier. So this is in northwestern or northern portions of Del Norte County. So it doesn't look like we're really seeing any snow up there right now. Let's take a look at the forecast road conditions. Now, when you see blue, any color on here, quite honestly, is snow. Even the red and some of that pinkish color, that's going to be getting closer to at least a mix or a slushy snow. So what we're seeing here this morning, the conditions. Well, that's why I-5 is closed right now. Heavy snow up there. Of course, that's why we're seeing chain requirements on Highway 299 west of I-5. You can see by noon, conditions look to try to improve on Highway 299, but honestly, be prepared for the fact that you may be dealing with those road conditions continue to be bad, especially with those road conditions with chain requirements on Highway 299. East of I-5, it's a mess there. It's a mess north on I-5 as well at noon today. Here's 6 o'clock. Now, I am expecting snow levels to slowly rise today, and that would mean that we would probably start to see less chain requirements. But I tell you what, even at 6 p.m., I'm still thinking we may have problems on I-5. So just be prepared for that today. And there's a look at Buckhorn Summit on Highway 299, Oregon Mountain, Highway 3, Scott Mountain closed. Probably be closed again. Highway 97 in Siskiyou County, Highway 96, Cedar Pass, Bogard Ranger Station, and of course all the mountain passes east of I-5. That continues into tomorrow morning. But I do expect improving conditions as we go into Thursday because snow levels will be much higher on Thursday, and we'll get into that a little bit later. All right, out the door this morning, wet, snowy in the mountains. Of course, you saw what the road conditions are looking like. It's not looking good out there. Not a good idea to be traveling out there this morning, in the mountains at least. Big area of low pressure. You've heard the term bomb cyclone. Well, all right, that's up to our north and west. It is helping to produce the gusty winds that we are seeing. It's also helping to tap into that subtropical moisture known as the atmospheric river that's pointed at Northern California. That's the source for the rain and snow that we are seeing now. Now, we saw cold air in place over the last few days. That cold air got trapped by the clouds that moved in. That's why our snow levels are starting off low. But keep in mind that the source of moisture is coming in from the subtropics. That is a warmer source of air, moisture, okay? That is eventually going to mix out that colder air, and that's when we see the snow levels rise. But again, that's not until probably this evening and tomorrow when we're looking at that kind of moving on in. Flood watch. There's a flood watch through Saturday morning. The valley surrounding foothills. This also includes the mountains west of the valley, a little bit north as well. Some of the biggest concerns with this is going to be rises in creeks and streams, localized flooding, and we also can't rule out the potential for mudslides and debris flows. All right, so let's take a look at futurecasts, at least through tonight, and then we'll get into the deeper dive here and take a look at the next few days. Now there you can see, of course, that rain is over us, the snow. All right, now we're taking you to about noon today. Not much change, right? It's all pretty much more of the same. Now, when we talk about the steady rain, periods of heavy rain at times, and then, of course, it breaks down to just steady light rain or steady moderate rain. So it's not going to be heavy, steady rain the entire time. Heavy, steady. Heavy and steady. It won't be heavy and steady the whole time. Let's just put it that way. All right, but everyone's seeing that rain. Now, I still got those snow levels, 2,500, 3,500 feet at 5 p.m., but they'll start to rise after that. Now, I'm expecting 3,500 to 4,500 feet by tonight and into tomorrow morning. You can see, as we go into tonight, we're starting to see less of the blue and more of the green and yellows, indicating more rain and less snow. There is a high wind warning for central Siskiyou County, for Modoc County and northeastern Siskiyou County until 4 o'clock today. Gusts 50, 60, even 70 miles an hour. A wind advisory for the valley through the day today until about 10 o'clock tonight. There are the winds this morning. Let's take a look at the winds this afternoon. Still very strong. And that's going to be the case here even going into your Thursday and your Friday. All right, so here's what it looks like out there today. Temperatures up at 40s, low 50s. It's going to be a cool day. 30s, 40s for the higher elevations. Mid-50s for your daytime highs along the coast. And we are looking at off and on rain here, folks. Off and on rain. And look at that, Friday, thunderstorms. Oh, man. I tell you what, it is going to be an active weather pattern through the rest of the week. And showers continue into the weekend. For the coast, off and on showers. And here's the thing. Forecast models up until this morning have been drying things out for next week. Now it looks like next week is going to be wet too. We'll get into that a little bit later too. But there you can see Mount Shasta, Alturas, Susanville. Take a look at the rain, take a look at the snow. It's going to continue. And it turns into more scattered showers, by the way, by the time we get into Friday through the weekend and Monday, Tuesday of next week. But still, more rain, more snow nonetheless. And that's what we're looking at here. Let's take a look at some of the cameras out there this morning. And we've got a blurry, but looks like rainy camera out there at Lake Oroville, North Forebay. Looking wet in Chico. You can see the rain coming down on the roads there. Give yourself some extra time. Even if you're not driving in the snow, give yourself extra time on those wet roads. Please, let's be safe out there, shall we? You're beginning to see some of that ponding, as we typically see here, but not any flooding just yet, but that will probably change here over the next 12, 24, 48 hours. Take a look at Sundial Bridge Drive, Highway 44. Looks like we have a wet road there as well. Hey, by the way, I want to remind you, if you have the Weather NorCal app, and if you don't, question is, why not? Come on, get it. Get it today. It's a free app, number one. Number two, it's backed by me, a local meteorologist here in Northern California for 25 plus years. All right? You're not going to get a better source of weather information than right there on your phone or from weathernorcal.com or the 24-hour streaming channels. You know we have a 24-hour streaming channel as well? It's on Roku, Amazon Fire Stick. It's also on YouTube. Just search for Weather NorCal on all of those apps, including YouTube, and you can watch the 24-hour streaming channel. But on your phone, you download, search for Weather NorCal from the App Store and from the Android, from the Google Play Store, and you can download the app for free, and then you can, of course, send your photos as well. So do me a favor, do that, download the app, and send your storm photos. I'd love to see them. Hey, by the way, if you can't listen or watch me in the morning at any time, you can, I got radio partners out there, folks. K Shasta, 7:30 in the morning, approximately. 7:50 in the morning, although weren't able to, I don't think we're going to be able to talk this morning with them this morning, but 106X, KQMS, a little after 8 o'clock in the morning, so be sure to check that out. How's everyone doing this morning? I've been seeing it a little active this morning. Michelle Slade, hello from Amsterdam. How you doing this morning? Hope you're enjoying your vacation. Just the beginning. And you got a couple more weeks to enjoy that. Shelly, late school start this morning. Shelly, you were right. Late school, late start to school tomorrow morning. You were saying that yesterday. I was kind of maybe doubting that. I didn't think the snow levels would be low enough. Sure enough. Hey, Shelly, by the way, let me know. How does it look over there in Weaverville? Are you got a couple of inches of snow? How's it look? Chappie's saying, good morning, stay safe and warm. Let's see if we can get some of you up here on the, oh, it's not working this morning. I can't seem to put you on social this morning. All right, that's not a problem. I can at least read it. I can't believe I-5 is closed already. I know, right? I mean, it's crazy. Winds are picking up right now. Curtis Brown in West Reading. Will French Gulch get any snow? Well, what's the elevation of French Gulch? All right, I'm assuming you're probably seeing rain right now. If you're not seeing, let's just put it this way. If you are not seeing snow right now, at least if the form of precipitation you're seeing right now is rain, then most likely you will not see snow. If anything, snow levels will be rising today, not lowering. Okay, so I do not anticipate it to lower anymore. There could be one little instance, though, that may change that. If there's a very heavy downpour, sometimes the snowflake doesn't have time to melt by the time it reaches the ground. So that would be the only exception. You called it, Mike, about 2 inches in Castle area and still coming down. Well, thank you, Catherine. All clear and out. Thank you. I just wanted to kind of check that. Sometimes there's this weird thing that gets into the audio and it can create problems. How is Lower Shingletown? Well, Lower Shingletown, 2,500 feet, probably in the form of rain, but I know Shingletown, 3,500 feet, the camera there was showing snow. It was accumulating on the highway. It looks a lot better now. Let's take a look at some of those cameras. We can, well, we'll get to that. We'll take a look at those cameras here in a bit. What I want to Klamath reopen from 6 a.m. Tree had gone down. I mean, it's already a mess. Although the winds were really strong last night. They're not quite as strong this morning in some of those areas here. I-5 is closed. Woke up to about 6 to 8 inches in Castella. Still snowing and no power. Ugh. Ugh, so sorry to hear that. Virginia saying, Carl Young Dana is, it's snowing, it's coming your way. Will Reading Municipal Airport flights be affected? Well, it depends where they're going, right? I'd be willing to guess that, unless it's really windy, there's no reason why they couldn't fly, at least out of Reading. But definitely check. If you're flying out today, you definitely want to check. Good morning. Would it be best to travel north to Reading today or wait until tomorrow? Travel north to Reading today. I say you're fine. If you're going to Reading, if you're south of Reading, heading to Reading from the south, you're fine. It's just going to be wet and windy. So just play it safe. Be extra careful. Tomorrow won't be any better. It's going to be just as rainy tomorrow. Friday will be a little bit better because it's going to be more in the way of scattered showers and thunderstorms. But today, tomorrow, no. Conditions are going to be about the same. You don't have to worry about snow if you're traveling there, Dean Fletcher. So you're fine. It's really wet, but lots of snow on the outer part. This is coming in from Shelley Buell. It's really in Weaverville. She's saying it's really wet, lots of snow on the outer parts of town, Oregon Mountain and Lewiston, that I know of along with Hayfork Summit. Well, thank you, Shelley, for that report. Always good to know what's going on the ground there. You are all my weather watchers, and I certainly appreciate that. Kay Berry from Viola, snowing with about an inch so far. No surprise, Viola, much higher in elevation than that of Shingletown. All right, so that's going to do it here this morning. Here, it looks like Mount Shasta High School is starting at 10 a.m. this morning. So Mount Shasta High School, due to the snow and delays. But it's funny. If we had this kind of snow, say in the valley, they'd just close school down. They'd be like, it's closed. We're not even going to try to get on. But I love it. Like up at Mount Shasta, they're used to that snow. They're like, tell you what, no, let's just give them time to clear out the roads. Let's get the kids off to school. They can get to school. I think that's funny. I love it. Michael Sommer, some spots in Siskiyou County are without power. Yeah, I saw that when we looked at that power map here. Let's do that again. Let's take a look at that map. This is kind of a cool resource that we have here at Weather NorCal. We can take a look at the power outages in the area. Let's get to it right there. I have to kind of do it manually. There you can see this is the power outage. So yeah, the yellow indicating higher population seeing power outages, as well as out towards Trinity County. Del Norte County seeing those power outages. We're also seeing power outages in Humboldt County, parts of Shasta County, not a very large percentage there. And then, of course, in Plumas County, you're seeing some power outages. This is no surprise. This should come as no surprise. This is something I've been talking about. What have I been talking about here? Well, take a look at this. What have I been saying really since Monday? Look at that last headline there. Gusty winds potentially leading to power outages. Well, there you have it. There it is. Now we got to look for, of course, the chain requirements. There it is. We have it. Flood potential along with mudslides and debris flows. I don't want that to happen, but there's a very good possibility that could happen. We have yet to really feel the impacts of the rain just yet because it hasn't been here long enough. It's a mess out there. I'm just going to stick here and have you look at that. Isn't that fun? I'll take it back over here. There you go. One-man band here. I got to do a lot of things here. Mount Shasta town has 18 inches and still coming down hard. All right, Betty, thank you. Remember the forecast model was saying 30 to 40 inches, and I was like, oh, man. I was thinking maybe a foot or two of snow. Well, we're already over a foot. We're only at 7:30 in the morning. 18 inches. It's coming down in Mount Shasta. Maybe the model was right. Maybe the model was right. Maybe I shouldn't have doubted it. Oh, man, it's just so hard. When you're stepping back and looking at it, you see 30 to 40 inches, like, come on. 3 feet of snow plus 18 inches so far. Thank you, Betty, for that report. I love the reports. Keep them coming in. Hope everyone has a great day. Stay safe out there. That's what we got coming in from Tracy. All right, thank you. All right. Well, let's get to the forecast, shall we? We're going to start off by mentioning our sponsor. We can't forget about them. Wind River Resort and Casino. Enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. Want to thank them for their support of Weather NorCal. All right, let's go and take a look at those current conditions out there, and there's the radar. So there's that steady flow of rain. We talk about that atmospheric river, the hose aimed at Northern California. It is here. Notice, though, off to the east, just not getting in on it yet. And look at this back edge. So when we define atmospheric river, it is a narrow column of moisture aimed at a certain area. In this case, right here in Northern California. A lot of times you can see a sharp cutoff of where that band of moisture is. And we're beginning to see it just turn over to scattered showers right now for the coast. And you can see here, just beginning to fill in a little bit here down to the south. So the main band, the main narrow band of moisture, is right over all of NorCal, the entire viewing area of the area, with the exception of not much going off to the east and just the back edge for parts of the north coast. And heavier rainfall down towards Red Bluff right now, by the way. Temperatures right now mid-40s for the valley, upper 30s to around 40. Off to the east, we're looking at temperatures in the low 50s along the coast. Here's your weather headlines. Periods of heavy rain and steady rain at times. Periods of, so we're looking at steady rain the entire time. But it'll be heavy at times, sometimes moderate, sometimes light. This is for today and tomorrow, by the way. Potential for flooding, mudslides, debris flows. I hate to say it, but there's that potential. Snow levels climbing tonight and, of course, tomorrow, which means less travel issues in the form of chain requirements. I think we'll be looking at better conditions there. However, ponding on the roadways, potential for mudslides, debris flows, that could create some problems for travel. Gusty winds with the potential for power outages. I should take the word potential out there. We've already seen power outages for many of you. There's the cold front. There's the area of low pressure, the bomb cyclone you've heard about. Cold air getting wrapped up in that. Cold air has been in place. Now, we talk about this when we have this subtropical air. The atmospheric river is typically a warmer source of moisture. So typically snow levels are higher. However, cold air is trapped at this point, and that cold air is also leading to the lower snow levels and, of course, the chain requirements we have out there. This cold front is helping to contribute to some of the gusty winds that we are seeing, but just an impressive area of low pressure here, by the way. That's why we're seeing that those gusty winds. So here's 6 o'clock this morning. All right, we're going to take you through time now. Let's take you to noon. We see much change? No, just turning over from light to moderate or heavy rainfall, and same thing with that snow. All right, we take you into 5 o'clock this afternoon. Still widespread. But what you'll notice, if you look closely, you'll see that we're seeing less, we're starting to see the rain kind of push a little bit more to the north, just kind of on the outer fringes here. Snow levels are starting to rise as we go into tonight. So by tonight, tomorrow morning, we're up to 3,500, 4,500. See what's happening? We're seeing less of the blue on there, less snow, meaning less chain requirements. I think at this point, we don't have to worry about snow on Highway 299. It's all in the form of rain, but we do have to worry about mudslides and debris flows, that's for sure. We're also seeing maybe a little bit of a break from the rain for parts of the valley tomorrow morning. Here's tomorrow around noon. There's the back edge of that atmospheric river. Now it's all down to the south. Again, a little bit of a shadowing going on here for parts of the valley. Heavier rainfall to the east of that. But look at to the east. Look at El Turris, Susanville, for example. Not really getting in on a lot of this at times. Then what happens is low pressure sinking to the south. That's causing this to what we call retrograde and move back up this way. So now we're filling back up on the coast. And then, of course, still that heavy rainfall for the valley, and now we're seeing it break off down here. Again, there's that, I'm like doing this, there's that column right here, right? On either side of that, it's drier. All right, now we're going to take you into Friday morning. Look at this, heavier rainfall off to the east, but scattered showers to the west of that, maybe even a few thunderstorms. Look at the snow levels, 7,000 to 8,000 feet. So now we are no longer, at this point, by the time we go through Friday afternoon, we are no longer under the influence of an atmospheric river. However, there's still a lot of moisture in place. We still got cool and unstable air that's moving in. That's going to bring us scattered showers and thunderstorms. Snow levels probably starting off still fairly high on Friday, but probably lowering by the time we go into the weekend. All right, here's the flash flood risk potential. Red, yellow, green. Moderate, slight to marginal. That's what we're seeing here for today. Tomorrow, Friday, it's still out there, folks. That's all the way through Friday, probably into Saturday. The flash flood, the flood watch that is, has been issued through Saturday morning. Everything I've been saying, right? Rises in creeks and streams, rivers, ponding on the roadways. Typical low-lying areas that see flooding during these types of events are going to see most likely flooding, and we can't forget about the potential for mudslides and debris flows. Rainfall estimates, boy, I tell you, the forecast model's been all over the place. And it really depends on where you see these heavier bands of rain, because it's steady rainfall, and then there's periods where it gets heavier, then periods where it's not as heavy. So I think the forecast model's having a really hard time figuring out exactly how much rain we're going to get. This is through Thursday, through Friday. Look at that. Again, it's going back up to 9.5 inches for Chico. But I think on average for the valley, we're talking about 7 inches, give or take, through Friday. That does not include what we'll see on Saturday and Sunday as well. Much less rainfall off to the east, and really not as much rainfall for the coast either, because again, we're seeing periods where that band of moisture is, they're in the drier slot, and then it kind of comes back, and then it kind of goes back down to the south again. So that's why we're not going to see as much here for the coast. Also, we're going from rain now to snow. We've got a winter storm warning for the areas in pink here until 10 o'clock tonight. Purple is where we have the winter weather advisory. There it is. I was inching towards closer to 18, but man, I think we could see a couple of feet of snow in Mount Shasta easily. We're not seeing as much. I think we could maybe see a trace out in Bernie. Shingletown is already seeing some of that snow this morning. Could probably see a little bit more. Hey, we could be looking at a foot of snow or more out towards Chester as well. But look at this. We're just not getting. And this, by the way, this is only through Wednesday. Now, the thing is, as snow levels rise tonight into tomorrow, we're not seeing much in the way of added snow because we are going to see rain eventually on top of the snow. And that'll probably help to melt some of that snow. But there it is, much higher amounts out towards Chester. And then going through Friday, snow levels are much higher. I mean, 8,000 feet or higher. Let's take a look at the ski park. That's always fun, right? Here we are. We take you through noon on Thursday. There's the snow that we're seeing at the ski park. But you see how it's not growing as we go into Thursday afternoon and Friday? Again, rain, unfortunately, on top of the fresh snow that they've seen and will see at the ski park. This is the reason why there's an avalanche warning until noon on Thursday. See, we're seeing all this heavy snow right now. It's just piling snow. And eventually what happens is when the snow level rises, you get rain on top of that snow, and that can help to induce an avalanche in some of the backcountry, the Mount Shasta area. So there you can see that's where that avalanche warning is until noon on Thursday. So if you're a backcountry enthusiast, you may want to hold off. Probably not a bad idea. All right, there's the latest look at the chain requirements here. By the way, if you want to see where these chain requirements are, it's very easy. All you have to do is go to weathernorcal.com. There's a quick link to quickmaps.org, or excuse me, quickmap.dot.ca.go. You get the idea. There's the website. But there are also several cameras that we can look at here. Closure of I-5 at Fondale exit. They're not letting traffic through. And as a result, we're not seeing traffic on the Pitt River Bridge or in the Lakehead area. Let's take you up north. I don't see much in the way. There's a snowplow, but Snowman Summit, there's oh man, it's just white out. Look at all the snow. Dunsmuir, 2,400 feet. You're getting snow. It's a mess up there. Don't need to be on the highway. Hey, Chris Woodward, I did an interview with him at Caltrans yesterday. First thing he said is, don't go on the road if you don't have to during these storms. Good advice. There you can see Grass Lake. Looks like we're seeing some snow on the side of the road, but overall, it looks like conditions are okay. Unfortunately, the cameras are down elsewhere. There's a look at Highway 299 West, Buckhorn Summit. This camera, by the way, is not at the summit. It's at a lower elevation at 2,600 feet. Oregon Mountain, there you can see the snow there, but it looks like Berry's Summit It's just looking wet, but not necessarily in the form of snow. So there are chain requirements on Highway 299 West, by the way. Hatchet Mountain still see, I mean, it's just covered in, can't even see the road. Highway 299 at 89, there's the chain requirements there. We got chain requirements on Cedar Pass, 6,000 feet. Looks like a mess up there as well. Shingletown. So you can see the snow that we're seeing in Shingletown. It looks like kind of a slushy snow now on the road. So it looks like you're kind of in that borderline where we're seeing that snow level. Laston Park, north entrance, just under 6,000 feet. A lot of snow there. Unfortunately, Beauregard and Ranger Station is down, but I bet it's very snowy up there too. Taking a look at Chester. Oh man, this is just outside of the town of Chester. And there's the snow that you're seeing there for down your summit. It's a mess up there. It looks like the camera the lens kind of got wiped off here. I don't know, maybe someone up there and wiped off the lens. Now, we haven't seen much rain or snow off to the far east in parts of, say, eastern Plumas or Laston County. So you can see here, east of Quincy, looking like a fairly dry road. A little bit of a wet roadway there on Highway 70 to 89, but no snow. So no big problems there. This is Highway 199, that is in Delnor County. Collier Tunnel and north of Collier. Looks like it's just in the form of wet and not necessarily snow up there. Let's take a look at those road conditions here. Now basically, if you see any of these colors right here, it's essentially snow. So that's what we've got here. Noon today, looks like conditions do improve a little bit on Highway 299, not so much on I-5, not so much off to the east either. Let's take into 5 p.m. Not so great on I-5. Looks like conditions get worse again this afternoon and evening for Highway 299. Be prepared for chain requirements and delays there. Problems east of I-5 as well. 11 o'clock tonight, still the same problems that we're dealing with. Now, as we start to see snow levels rise, we're going to see less of that. You see how it's more speckly? That means we're seeing less in the way of that snow. Conditions should hopefully be better by tomorrow morning, but no guarantees on that. You still need to check those latest road conditions. Unfortunately, I meant to take that out here, but there's a high wind warning here, wind advisory down into the valley for today. Gusty winds. Now, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this because, oh wait, I wanted to show you here where the winds are right now. Strongest winds, as you can see here in the foothills. Red Bluff, 32 miles an hour. Doesn't look to be quite as bad at the Reading Airport right now. But it's just going to be very localized. A lot of times with these winds, we get these localized winds that can be very strong, and then others maybe not so strong, not too far away. And you can see it's really kind of centralized towards central and eastern portions of the valley, and then into the foothills there. Gusty winds in the eastern mountains into Modoc County, Siskiyou County. Seeing some very strong winds with that blowing snow too. Thursday morning. Thursday afternoon looks like another round of some strong winds making their way off from the west, pushing eastward. The rest of us seeing gusty winds. By Friday afternoon, we may start to see the winds finally die down. So we'll basically just call it windy across the board for today, tomorrow, and even into your Friday. So there's that atmospheric river right there. There's the bomb cyclone. All right, I put them all in one sentence there, right? Or two different sentences. But there you can see that stream of moisture still aimed at Northern California on Thursday. This one coming through on Friday, and then it pushes to the south. We're no longer under the influence of the atmospheric river on Friday afternoon and Saturday, but we do have a storm system right here coming through Saturday into Sunday. There's Sunday. Now we go into Monday, scattered showers. This is what's coming in on Tuesday of next week. More showers, and quite honestly, maybe even a bit of a weak Pineapple Express, or should we even maybe say atmospheric river? I hate to say it, but I don't want to dramatize it. Wednesday, this is the day before Thanksgiving, and this is Thanksgiving. Now it's looking wet. The forecast models up until today were keeping all next week dry, but now it's looking more wet as we go into Thursday. We'll of course, be ironing those details out as we get closer to next week, but let's get through this week first, right? Because as we go through next Tuesday, there's some of the forecast rainfall totals. And quite honestly, with the way things are going, these numbers might be pretty close. We could see 7, 8, 9 inches of rain. Now, this is looking at a different forecast model. It's basically around 7 inches on average for the valley, less to the east, but a little bit more over some of the mountains, especially to the west and northwest of the valley. So here's your overall setup. I'm going to use the phrase, the term, because that's what it is. From a technical standpoint, we are under the influence right now of an atmospheric river. Unfortunately, different media outlets, whether it's on TV or even social media, have misused the phrase atmospheric river to their advantage to make it sound dramatic and big deal, and this is going to be massive and Armageddon, the works. That's not what we do here at Weather NorCal. I'm using this phrase as a term to help educate you and help you understand what it is we're dealing with. So you can see, this is looking at the moisture content. This is looking at how much water vapor is in the atmosphere. Here's the column right here. See where it's aimed? Right at Northern California. Other people have said it's like taking a garden hose and aiming it right at Northern California. That's essentially what's happening. By the way, we have this little weak branch here that's also kind of feeding into it as well. They'll eventually kind of just join forces. But as this digs to the south, you would think as it digs to the south, then we would no longer be, but what happens is that then causes this to do this, okay? So we're still under the influence of the atmospheric river tomorrow. Friday is pushing to the south. So through the day on Friday, it's pushing to the south, and eventually will be over central, and then eventually into Southern California by the time you get into Saturday. And look at that big push of moisture. Things could get interesting for them by the end of this upcoming weekend. All right, so that's what we kind of got going on there. Now, there are different categories of atmospheric rivers as far as the overall impact. 1 all the way through 5. So we look at the coast, kind of spiking a little bit here, but for on average here, we're getting a little bit into category 3, but at least we're not getting into the oranges and reds. Then the other one that we look at is the foothills east of the valley. You can see it not quite as strong, but still there are going to be impacts any way you look at it from this. So again, we're not in that major impact, but it's going to have those impacts. We're already starting to feel it. So there you can see the wave heights are fairly high here for today. I do expect them to drop as we go into tomorrow afternoon. So let's take a look at your marine forecast for your Wednesday. South winds at 15 to 20 knots. There are your waves. There's your high and low tide. There's a hazardous seas warning for today. All right, let's get you to that neighborhood forecast for Trinity County. Temperatures leveling out in the mid-30s for most of us, low to mid-30s here. We've got a chance for rain and snow, basically rain, higher elevation snow, each and every single day through Tuesday. Temperature about 40 degrees for Forest Glen. For southern Humboldt County, temperatures low to mid-50s for your daytime highs today. Up north, Ferndale, 56, 55 degrees in Fortuna, 52 degrees in Rio Dell. Up north, about 57 for Trinidad, 52 for Blue Lake, and Willow Creek, about 49. To the north, 48 degrees for Gas Key, 52 degrees in Orleans. I mean, again, it's just wet, right? Now, the heaviest will be today, tomorrow. Scattered showers off and on for Friday through the weekend and into next week. That's the case for Scott Valley. That's the case for central and eastern Siskiyou County. We take you into Modoc County. Same situation here. You just won't see as much as everyone else. Temperatures mainly in the 30s and 40s. Your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, 41 Montgomery Creek, 45 Paynes Creek today, 39 degrees for Fall River Mills, out towards Lassen Park, and also Lake Almanor, that is. Temperatures upper 30s to around 40 around the perimeter of the lake. Taking to the south, Paradise, a high of 49, 49 for Doyle, and Susanville, a high of about 48 degrees. And what's that? Could we see some lightning strikes on Friday for parts of the foothills in the valley? Certainly not out of the question. Here's your Valley Neighborhood Forecast brought to you by Walgamuth Painting. Temperatures upper 40s to about 50 for that daytime high. Take you up north, 46 for the city of Shasta Lake, 45 in Whiskeytown, Cottonwood about 48, and Lakehead 42 degrees. All right, there's your 7-day outlook for Redding. It's wet and windy today, tomorrow. Scattered showers, maybe some thunderstorms for your Friday afternoon. Saturday, Sunday, scattered showers. More scattered showers for your Monday, Tuesday. And just when I thought it was going to dry out, especially after Monday or Tuesday, forecast models are now saying, nope, we're still going to see a chance for showers Wednesday, Thursday, even Friday of next week. So that is a look at your forecast, folks. Hopefully you were able to get everything you needed out of it. It has been a very interesting last few days. It's going to get a lot more interesting, though, as we go through today, tomorrow, and see what kind of impacts we have. Again, the main impacts we're dealing with right now are chain requirements, the closure of I-5. I'll have to double check that, make sure that's still up to date as we're kind of talking about it right now. And it looks like, yes, we are still seeing, we are still seeing the closure on I-5. Wow. Due to winter weather closure expected to end at 11:01 p.m. tonight? They're going to have I-5 closed all day? Oh, man. Seriously? Wow. Okay. That's what I'm getting from, again, and I'm going to read this directly from the quick map from Caltrans. Due to winter weather closure, expected to end at 11:01 p.m. November 20th. That's today. Yeah, information courtesy of Caltrans. This was updated at 7:44 in the morning. Oof. Hoofda, folks. If you need to go on I-5, you don't even have a choice. You can't even get up there. Let's see here. Let's see what. Let's see if there's anybody kind of checking in here. 3.5 inches so far in Montgomery Creek. I-5 is closed, which means GPS reroutes themselves to 299 east. Big rig stuck all the way over 299 towards Bernie. Oh. Ignoring the chain signs. Oh boy. Oh joy. Let the mess begin. Ugh. There's Betty's report of 18 inches of snow. Awesome. Just measured 2 1/8 inch. No wind, but still coming down. About a quarter mile visibility. 33 degrees. How's that? Well, 33 degrees, even though it's not freezing, 33 degrees is definitely cold enough to support snow, even upwards of sometimes 36, 37 degrees. Keep in mind, it starts as a snowflake at above the surface, and then it falls down. So a lot of times, if it's 33 degrees at the surface, it just doesn't have time to melt, bottom line. But if it's like 38, 39, 40 degrees, yeah, it does have time to melt. And that's when it turns into kind of a rain or a sleet or a slush, depending on how heavy it is too. Sometimes when it's really heavy, you have really heavy snow above you, but it's say like 38, 39 degrees at the surface. If it's coming down really heavy, it definitely doesn't have time to melt, even at warmer temperatures like that at the surface. And then you'll see that snow. But typically it won't even accumulate because the ground is just too warm. Interesting here. There you go. Little lesson there in snowology. That's my official term, snowology. All right, I think that's going to do it. I'm going to, let's see here. Let's do this. I'm going to leave you with, instead of I typically kind of show you some of the cameras around the area, I'm going to leave you with the Caltrans map and the cameras, because you're going to want to see what's going on with those cameras. That is for sure. All right, so when I go back to the 24-hour streaming channel, do take note that I have noticed that last night's forecast is still running on the 24-hour streaming channel. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure we get the latest one up there, but I'm not sure what's going on there. But in the meantime, that's going to do it. We're going to wrap it up here. Let's get some music going too. A little bit jazzy music. A little bit of fun, right? Let's turn that back up. Doesn't seem to be running. Why is it not running? Oh, because I think I need to do that. There we go. Now it should be on. All right, so there's a look at the chain requirements. We're also going to take a look at some of the cameras. And you have yourselves a great day. And we will be back again here tomorrow morning on Coffee with Krueger with all of the latest. Have a good one.